My watch stopped. I'm useless without this phone. What time is it? No one ever knows what time it is around here. Jesus Christ. Hey, do you know what time it is? No? What am I going to do? I know what time it is. It's time for the show. You see this behind me? Oh, there, over there. That's called Big Ben. Big Ben. I like it. I've been to England several times. Big Ben is crazy. And I've done that joke, actually, where I was standing in front of it, and I asked somebody, hey, do you have the time? And they go, oh, well, let me check. That's Big Ben. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How are you? Everything is okay? Why am I talking about Big Ben? And why is this about to pop up behind me? Hey, the Union Jack. We've done a show on Mayhem. Mayhem is one of the big games in the UK. It was fantastic. It was an amazing thing. The country, the little island of England got together and just like said, wow, this is an amazing thing. And it was an amazing show. And then from there, we said, let's do a players show like I do. You know, I've done South Africa and Canada and Mexico, and I've done everywhere. So we said, let's do one on the players. And we did, and it was fantastic. They all got together and they said, boom. And I said, what is with this island? All these paintball guys are just getting together all the time and becoming this united thing. I said, I didn't know this English paintball thing was because I've been all over the world. You guys know when I traveled, and sometimes people are kind of like disenfranchised, franchised. They're all over the place. These guys are not. These guys are like, let's do this thing. Let's grow our sport in this little island. So Paul Banks and I said, you know what? We need to do an industry show. So we're going to do an industry show on England, on the Isles, on the British Isle, and we're going to talk about again just how cohesive these guys, just how connected these guys are, and these guys are very, very close to being recognized as a true sport in England, not just a hobby or a pastime. And so I'm hoping this is going to push them over the edge, and Parliament's going to go, oh bloody hell, we should do this, and they're going to make Paul a sir. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make Paul a sir. All right, you guys, listen. Without further ado, I'm going to bring in some really cool cats from across the pond, and we're going to learn more about the paintball industry in this amazing London town in England. We got Paul Banks. We got Paul Strutt. We've got Ash Ansley. We've got Ansley. We got Don.
Ainsley.
Whatever.
Ainsley.
Anyway, listen, get a real name, man. What the hell? Come on. All right. Anyway, we got Leds and we got Don. And look at you guys. Listen. Don't get upset if you can't pronounce Don's last name, but Yuka Puspa. All right. You want to buy a vowel, Don? Anyway, all right. That's not Don's real name. That's actually the United Kingdom Paintball something Federation. What is it?
Sports
Federation. See that? These guys are really serious about this. They want to get this thing done. They want to get Parliament to knight them and say, let's do this thing. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the horn, and each of you guys introduce yourself, and then we're gonna go back to Paul Banks. And we're gonna get this ball rolling. So Paul Banks, who are you? If people already don't know, but who are you, Paul Banks?
Paul Banks, BZ Paintball Supplies, Technical Services Europe.
Nice. And he's my mentor, my babysitter when I'm in England. Or I'm in Europe. He's my godfather, even though I think we're the same age. But anyway, Paul Strutt.
I'm Paul Strutt. OMG Events, which stands for Only Magfed Games, and I run Magfed Games in the UK and some in Europe also.
Fantastic, nice. Well, that's all the time we have. I'm just joking. I'm just doing joking, Leds. Leds, what's up, brother man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, listen, are we able to tell people about that amazing thing you do on Facebook, or are you kind of behind the scenes? We're not going to tell anybody.
Which
You know,
amazing.
the blue one that always comes up. That's support paintball and all that kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, of course, you can. Yeah. That's
Okay,
fine.
so you guys listen. It's no longer a mystery. This guy is the cool cat that does that play paintball blue Facebook thing that pops up all the time. Dude,
Well,
you're killing it with it.
I can't take any credit for any of that. That's not me at all. I'm the boss.
What?
No, I'm the boss who employs the guy who does it. I don't do any of it. I just pay.
Okay, because you guys are always picking me as like their poster child, and I love you guys. Thank you very much. All right, and okay, but you said wait, Planet Eclipse. What are you with?
Yeah, that's my company, Planet Eclipse. Yeah.
Nice, very very good. Okay, Don Yuska. Okay, Don.
Okay, I'm Don Logan. I own a field in the UK in Sherwood Forest called Adrenaline Jungle, but I'm the current chair of the UK PSF, which is the Paintball Sports Federation for the UK, and that encompasses all forms of the sport. So it doesn't matter whether it's 50 cal, 6.8, mag fed. It doesn't matter if you fire a ball, we're there to help.
Nice. Now, you guys, listen, just stay behind the scenes here. Don doesn't know who I am. So when he starts getting pissed off at me because I start joking with him, this is going to be a real serious show. You're going to see that. He's going to go bollocks on me. I guess that's what they call it. Anyway. Ansley, how are you, brother?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good.
What does CPPS stand for?
Central Premier Paintball Series.
And I heard that you guys are kind of like the NXL of the island.
Sort of, yes. Yeah, we're the sort of main UK league.
Nice.
So
okay.
we have like 100 teams in an event, and all the teams in the UK come to play.
Dude,
at my field in Staffordshire.
Dude, 100 teams, that's amazing. That's fantastic. Okay, congratulations. And are you kind of like a feeder for the NXL? Or no?
Not exactly, but I mean, with NXL coming over to Europe in the past couple of years, there's been a kind of a change in the guard and how things are run. And there are some teams that go and play. Like I own a team that does play NXL Europe. So it's just trying to get some more teams to play it eventually.
Very cool. I like it.
This year with everything that's going on. So.
Okay, cool. So guys, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to ask some more questions for these guys, just so you guys get to know them a little bit better. And then Paul's going to kind of take over as the co-host, and we're going to learn about this thing. So Paul Banks, Paul and I have a really long history together. Every time I go to Europe, he's basically my babysitter. He's guided me through all the faux pas that I've done and everything like that. But he also owns one of the largest, I think it's one of, your brother, it's your son-in-law. And you basically own BZ or BBZ. And it's one of the largest, I'm an American, man. It's one of the largest, either I think online stores or brick and mortar stores in England. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's my son and my son-in-law. They own BZ, which is online, and bricks and mortar store. Myself, my kids, and my family, we also own 5 sites in the UK as well.
Nice, so, very very cool.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And when they say sites, they're not talking about sites on the internet. There's actually about places you can go play, right?
Yeah.
Just so we can, right? Okay,
yeah.
Because anybody can own a site on the internet. Okay, cool. All right, Paul, listen, how big is MagFit over there?
Well, it's not as big as it is in the US, but I would say we have a solid 300 to 400 regular MagFed players. I imagine there's probably nearly as many again who just go to local walk-ons and don't really get involved in the bigger community. I would say that's a fair estimate on the numbers.
And so when you're saying MagFed only games, you actually produce these things, right? You actually go to a field and say, we're going to do a MagFed only day. What do you usually draw? What's the amount of people you usually draw for a game like that?
Well, it depends on the venue, really. Typically, we have anywhere between 100 to 200 players. We hire venues such as MOD training facilities or ex-MOD
nice
properties that are owned privately now. We did a game earlier on in the year in March that was in Thetford. And that was a MOD site which was built to look like a bit like an Afghan village. And one half of it
Wow.
was Afghan village, the other half was like a Bavarian village as well, and that was an awesome venue to use.
Dude, that's exciting. Really cool. Congratulations on that. I'm an
Thank
OG
you.
MagFed player. I've been playing pistols only since 2008. When I first started, only pistols. So I'm OG as far as MagFed. Ansley, we have the NPPL here. We have they basically the series usually starts in Vegas and then goes to like Texas and then bounces all the way around. Then we have our thing called World Cup, right? In Florida. Do you guys have the same thing? Do you guys have they bounce around all over the country?
No, I mean, with England being quite small anyway, like you can kind of get from one end to the other you can get to me anyway within 4 hours because we're central in the country.
Okay.
So there are other sort of smaller leagues that sort of run around, and we try and help and collaborate with them as well. But I am an independent, and then there are the other sites around the UK that sort of run tournaments with maybe 20, 30 teams. So, but we kind of all help each other out. We're pretty cool. So it's good. A lot of those other places are attached to. They might have a woodland field as well.
Okay.
Prepare for them is like an extra, and that allows some sort of progression from walk on to prepare and playing that sort of paintball. So for them, it's more of an add-on. Where my field is purely sub-air based. So
Okay.
I have 6 fields. So
do you guys have an accumulation or something at the very end of the season? Do you have like a World Cup?
No, not really, because I mean my series is 5 events over the year, and that's a kind of UK league, and like whoever wins in each division. So it's all kind of in-house, if you like. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like it. All right, Don, how are you?
I'm good, sir. You?
My day is now complete that I've seen you.
Okay, you need to get a better diary.
Don't
Okay.
because he's on tonight.
Oh my God.
And everything in the
Okay. Okay, Don. So listen, Don. How long has this PSF been going on? When did you create it? What's the story?
Okay, so the UK PSF has been around for about 30 years, and I certainly didn't recreate it, being only 21. But I've been in the industry. I've had a field for about 26, 27 years myself, and I got involved about 4 or 5 years ago when there was a change at the top. People were looking to kind of step away. They needed some new people to step in and help. And I unfortunately didn't step back as quick as the rest of everybody else, so I find myself here as the current chair. But yeah, it's been doing a lot of work for a lot of years, way before my time, and we're just trying to carry on the mantle, really.
Okay, so and the idea behind this is to kind of like unite paintball on the island and just say.
Yeah, I mean, it's as much about giving a united front. The sport itself, the UK is quite small, so it's fairly united anyway. A lot of people know a lot of people, and a lot of the fields in the UK have been around for a lot of years. So there is already a community. But what we needed to have a uniformed voice. The UK has very strict rules on firearms. We're not a big fan of it. We don't have the constitution like you guys. So any kind of sport that involves anything that looks like a firearm is frowned upon. So in the early days, we needed to show some kind of uniformity, a place where anybody that needed specific information, law enforcement, government could go and talk. And it was like a self-regulating body, really, that was set up to protect the sport, to give anybody that needed information and that was uneducated in paintball could go to. Certainly over the last few years, paintball's become far more mainstream. When I started playing 25 to 26 years ago, people didn't have a clue what paintball was. Now a lot of people do. So it's more of a just about making sure that we've got some protection for all forms as a sport as it evolves.
Nice, dude. We need more of that. We need more of that in all the countries. I mean, it would be cool if there would be like an international kind of situation like this, because it's scary sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm also president of the European Paintball Federation, and a lot of countries in Europe have their own federations. And some are very, very well run, and even in the US, I know that Tom Cole is setting up some sort of federation over there.
Right.
There's, South America and things like that. So it is expanded.
But Ansley, let me ask you a question though. Are we talking about tournament only federation or all paintball?
The European Paintball Federation focuses a lot on sort of tournament paintball purely from a marketing point of view for everything else. Because when you have sort of nations events, that's the kind of backbone of the European Paintball Federation, is promoting international, European, whatever it might be, events where you have your national team come and play, and that's great for media sort of publicity. So that's the focus there. However, these federations under that banner also operate like we're doing in the UK. They have the same in France and Italy, and they kind of speak to their governments, and it is quite organized. So,
okay. The reason I'm saying, Les, hold on, we'll be right with you. Just get a drink or something. We'll talk to you later. Hold on. Okay. But the reason that I'm saying that is because in the States, we've always looked at it as like basically the 80-20 rule, is that 80% of our industry is the rec ball, woods ball kind of thing, and 20% is kind of like what you guys do. So when I'm saying an international federation or something like that, it would be basically just encompassing everything. So if anybody, like any kind of governing body, anybody could come to it, and there would be a chairman for the rec ball and chairman for like the tournament kind of thing. I know what you're saying, and I'm aware of Tom Cole and all that kind of stuff, but I've always felt that it was geared again more towards the tournament aspect of that kind of thing.
The UKPSF the UKPSF is definitely geared towards the recreational market more than the own gunner. We support the fields because without the fields, there isn't anywhere for the own gunner, the tournament player, or the rec player to go. There is definitely a move now to bring that more mainstream, to engage with the player base. That's something that Paul we've all been involved with, but that's been something that's really jumped up in the last 5 to 10 days. But it's about the sport as a whole. It's not picking one specific brand.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted to hear. Right. That's to me, that's extremely important. You guys all know that I'm connected with GI and everything. I love GI. I even wear Tippmann stuff. But the thing is, though, I'm paintball. I love paintball. I love I don't, and I'm trying to. I'm Switzerland basically. Okay, I love paintball, and so when I go play, I'll play against a speedball player. I'll play against a mag. It doesn't matter who I play with. I just want people to play paintball. That's my basically my goal. So what you just said was true. If we had this kind of federation, that it wasn't based on our, whether it was GI or Valken or Planet Eclipse, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of everybody getting together and growing this thing internationally. That's what I'm kind of like completely into.
Yeah, I think
one important thing now I have to mention, and that is we have again this evening 2 tickets for some games that anybody who's actually logged on. Yeah, anyone who's logged on has the opportunity to win these 2 tickets. One's for Borderlands.
Wait, they have to log on and put UK in there.
They have to put UK player or European player. Because
just European player, right?
Guys will come over from Europe, so I'm going to pick those two. Okay. Pick those 2 players towards the end. Paul from OMG Events has got 1 ticket for he's got a voucher, so he can go to any of his games, one of his games, and then the other one will be for one of the other games in the UK, which will be Borderlands on this particular show. So
hold on,
make that important.
Hold on 1 second. I don't want Les to feel like the redheaded stepchild, so we have to let him in on this also. Okay, so hold on 1 second. Okay, so wait, let's put a pin on. Listen, Ansley and Don, put a pin in that for 1 second. We're gonna come back. But Les, so you're with what's your connection with Planet Eclipse?
I own it.
Dealing with the big dogs now, baby. There you go.
Is Planet Eclipse an English company? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, because you always think it's an American company. That's why. Same as the Enigma machine that you said you'd captured.
Hey, listen, we Americans won World War I and World War II. We didn't need you, right? Exactly. Come on. Everything's American. All right. No, that's fantastic.
You did it in the Hollywood version.
Exactly. Yeah. Ryan, we've saved Private Ryan and the rest of the world. Okay. So listen, how long have you owned the company? When did you create it?
Well, I've owned it from the beginning. It's not just me. We've got a business partner in the UK called Julian, and Jacko in America, who's English, but he lives in America now, runs our US office. We started in 1991. I've been playing paintball since 1986.
Dude.
Been doing it a while.
Okay, amazing. Now listen, you guys, I'm going to throw out one more question. And when we talked about this on our English player show, nobody could give me an answer. Maybe you guys can. When did it come to the island? When did paintball come to England?
Paul answered you.
I did, Matt.
Yeah, I listened.
No. He said 86 or something. Maybe 86. It's a gray area. We started in 82. Does anybody know? Does anybody know where the first game was, or who imported the first stuff, or anything like that?
No, I don't.
I would say that it was around the 85, 86, and I think there were two franchises that came over fairly around about the same time. There was the Survival Game Network that came over. They had a couple of fields around London, and shortly after that, there was the Skirmish franchise, and they used the Daystate marker system, which is out of Birmingham. But I would say 85. I played in 87.
Okay.
And the guys whose field I played at had played a few over a year or so prior to that. So that's all I'm pitching it on.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah. You just legitimized Paul Banks. Thank you very much. All right, cool. Anyway, listen. So listen, Don and Ansley, you guys were basically talking about the Federation, though, about like it all being basically one thing. Did I cut you off, or did you guys finish your statements on that?
No, I think I was just going to say that. I gave the example that the European Paintball Federation, only the top layer of that is used to kind of promote paintball in quite a cool way with these Nations Cup events. Okay, but underneath that, in their individual federations across Europe, it's very much geared towards all aspects of paintball, and that's all I wanted to sort of cover.
Nice, Don. How did he do? Did he do well? Did he represent well?
Well, I represent the UK. Ainsley has got a boot in both camps, to be fair. But yeah, it's just about the sport, 100% about the sport.
Nice. Okay, you guys, listen. We're gonna do some check up on here on our comments, and then we're gonna let Paul take over because he's chomping at the bit. Hang on a second. All right. So we've got hello, Seal, and we've got hello from Michigan, and Andrew, I think, is in the UK. Jesse, Nigel, that sounds like a very English name. Andy is, we go, Andy, he's got the Ali Remembered Foundation out of Colorado. Good morning. Hello, Jake. John Jones, that sounds like a pirate name. All right. Let me see here. He's a pirate. Let me do, Ellie, what's up, Ellie? And let me see. Okay, you guys, listen again. You guys in the comments, please put your name plus European player, and that way we can get you over to either. If you're in Europe, we can get you over to play one of these big games because we have 2 sets of tickets to give away to 2 different games. So you guys, please put your names in there. Don't just put like "oi" or something like that. We want people like this. We'll use this one as an example. There we go. There's a UK player, right?
So not your player. You want him to say UK player, don't you?
UK player. Yeah.
UK player or you? Wait a minute. We'll
take some from Europe as well because we had some Swedes and things, but unfortunately, they'll have to wait 14 days before they can come and play. So the ticket might be
okay. So wait a minute. Hang on a second. Are we doing a UK player? Are we doing Europe player?
UK
what do you want to do?
UK player.
UK. Let's do UK.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, you guys, and we're gonna know if you're not. So don't try to cheat. All right, cool. All right, that's right. And also, you guys, listen. We can't give any tickets away to anybody that's related to anybody on the show because that's called nepotism, and we don't do that here. All right, cool. Okay, Paul Banks, listen, brother.
Sure.
You're the one that brought us all together here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. How close we are to getting this thing legitimized and all this cool stuff.
I think what happened, I brought these people together. There's one missing, which is Gassy, because obviously I haven't got space for him. But basically, what I've done is try to represent the UK paintball, so OMG, the CPPS and Scenario. But then also we have the 2 guys who've been pushing it. In fact, the 3 guys on the bottom tier there, be Leds, Don and Ainsley, been pushing the UK PSF. So for me, I just want a couple of things to say, and then I'll move on to the guys. We started about 2 weeks ago with Paul and myself having a conversation, probably a bit longer than that actually, having a conversation about trying to get his members to be members of the UKPSF. Unbelievable. The OMG guys have just jumped on board and really cuddle UKPSF. Membership gone through the roof from their side. So I can only say a big shout out, big thank you to MG guys who've done that. I do know on the scenario side, some of the big teams have taken that initiative as well and jumped on and joined. And then obviously it's a little bit more complicated with the with the tournament guys, because their season hasn't even started, to be fair. But then obviously, hopefully, Ainsel maybe you can say what's going to happen. But hopefully there's a plan for next year where those guys will be able to also be a part of the UKPSF as well, under a different regime or whatever. So for me, it's just a big thank you to the guys who have now joined, and the people who are thinking of joining. Please, please, please jump on and do it. It takes a couple of minutes and it costs you nothing, absolutely nothing. You're talking £5 for the year or £15 for 5 years. That's £3 a year. That's ridiculous. And then obviously, big thank you to Don and Leds for really pushing this thing along, the UKPSF. If it wasn't for their stamina and sort of die hardness going out there, and Ainsley again getting this thing legitimised through the colleges and universities that have been involved, I don't know where we'd be now. So a big thanks from them. So now I'm going to just let the guys have, talk about the things that they want to talk about UKPSF, because that's the show is for me about the UKPSF and how we can all work together to bring that all together.
Take it away.
Well, hang on a second, you guys. Listen, this is called the. I'm bringing it up right now, the UKPSF, because if you just type UKPSF in Google, it's going to bring some mathematical equations that I couldn't solve. But so it's basically UKPSF.com, correct?
.com, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Or
bring
you
it
can
up right now, you guys.
UKPSF Paintball, and that'll bring us up as well. There is another organisation that have UKPSF as their brand for the website. So that's us. Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So if you guys go here, we're talking to the UK players right now. So if UK players go here, you can actually help out by registering and getting involved in this thing. This is fantastic. Okay, cool.
So if I give you kind of like a snapshot, historically the UKPSF was set up to facilitate communication with fields, whether that between law enforcement or government, etc. 30 years ago, there wasn't the player infrastructure that there is now. So it wasn't that the player didn't matter, but it was all recreational. It was a rental. So there wasn't that kind of relationship required because the market wasn't there. Over the last 10 years, that's changed dramatically with the own gunner market, with the CPP, with all forms of tournament, scenario, big game, etc. And so what we're trying to do, one of the current aspirations is to get paintball recognised as a sport in the UK. There's a range of reasons for trying to do that, but as you said earlier on, it legitimises who and what we are, and there's all kinds of benefits for businesses that operate in something in the UK that is a sport. Part and parcel of doing that is that you need to demonstrate to the governing bodies and Sport England that there are really people that do it seriously as a pastime, whether they compete competitively or purely recreationally. And the only way you can do that is to have a solid membership base of regular players. So we have agonized with how we move that forward over the last 2 or 3 years, because you'll know in any sport, nobody really likes to be told what to do. Nobody wants to be forced to join a club if they don't want to join a club. And so it was that chicken and egg. Which one's going to come first? We did a lot of the legwork. We did a lot of the scientific studies demonstrating that the sport had physical, mental benefits of participation. We had data tracks fitted to players. We got a university involved, and they did a 60, 70-page study. So that was all ready to go. It supports the application, but without the membership base. And I think that the last 3 months of not being able to play has focused people's minds. They've realised how much they miss it and how much they would miss it if something else happened that took the sport away from them. And Paul Strutt was really instrumental. There were a lot of big event organisers that believed in the UK PSF and support it from a field owner perspective. But whoever went first, insisting on membership of the UK PSF as a player membership to be able to take part in one of their events, was running the risk of losing a proportion of their client base. So nobody really wanted to go first. Well, Paul, said, no, to hell with it. He believes in what we do. He wanted to support it. So OMG came out and said, moving forward, if you want to play one of our events, you need to be a player member of the UK PSF. As Paul Banks has said, it's £5. You can do it annually, £5, or you can take a 5-year membership, which is £15. It's not about the money, although the level of membership is generating a revenue which will in turn enable us to invest in the player interface so we can communicate and engage with them. But really, it was just about creating the footprint that we need to support the application. And we need about 1,800. The kind of benchmark is 1,600 to 1,800 active paid up members. So that's the minimum. But obviously, the bigger the membership, the more power, the more support it provides to the application to get sports recognition. And if we can get that in the UK and we can demonstrate there is an organised infrastructure, there are competitive levels, but it's accessible to everybody. Because I think recreational paintball is absolutely accessible to anybody. At my field, if you're willing to give it a go, we'll make it happen. So it's all part and parcel of just getting us more mainstream.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You said between what, 18 to what? How many things?
16 to 1,800 paid up members. So just shy of 2,000. 2,000 player members gives us a legitimate membership base that will support the application for sports recognition.
What are we at right now?
As of right now, we're sitting at 441, which is...
You guys, come on. How much is it?
It's £5 for a year or £15 for 5 years. But so, listen, if you don't think 441 is impressive, I'm glad you didn't ask me that question 14 days ago, because we were sat at 100.
What happened? What happened? What were you giving away toasters? What are you doing?
Yeah, Paul drew the line in the sand and said, "You've got to if you want to play my events, you've got to be a member." And what then happened is a domino effect. We no longer needed somebody to go first; we needed somebody to get behind it. Mayhem followed, North v South followed,
wow.
Badlands followed. So of course, it's just kind of like the ball started to roll, and that then created the community talking about it. We had a few questions fired at us. I'm not for 1 minute saying we've got it perfect. We have gone from really not having much of a player base to now having 500 people that want to fire questions at us. We are all volunteers. These are not paid positions. We do this because of the love of the sport, and it's something that we believe passionately in. And unfortunately, right now, we have a little bit more time on our hands because our respective fields centres aren't open, so we can dedicate more to it, which is great. But we're learning on the hoof because the membership is growing.
Dude, congratulations on that. Listen, you guys, think about this. Look what they're saying, right? They're at 400 and something, 440. They need like 18 to become basically for this petition to go to Parliament to say, hey, this is a legitimate sport. There's enough people. There's 3,000 people watching the show. Come on, you guys. What are you guys doing? £5? I don't know what the fuck that is, but £5?
That's about $100.
$7.
I know. It's about $7.50 or something like that. I know. Whatever. Anyway, you guys, listen. Come on. Let's do this, man. You guys jump in, start helping these guys out. You're not helping these guys out. You're helping out not only the UK, but you're helping paintball in general, because what's going to happen is it's going to snowball. If they can say, listen, we're a legitimate sport in England, and then maybe France is going to say, we're going to run with this ball. Look at England as an example kind of thing. You guys see? You guys are onto something big here. So come on, let's get that ball rolling. And listen, just to help you out again, there it is. Go there and sign up.
I agree. Everybody should should sign up, but people, it's not, I know you said it's a petition that we're going to go to the government with. That isn't the case at all. What we have to do is we have a thing in England called Sports England, and we have to try and persuade them that the sport of paintball that we all know it is a sport, and we have to tick a load of boxes, and one of the boxes is the membership. So you can't just rock up to their door and say, hi, we're a sport, there's 6 of us go and play on a Sunday. We have to have a membership base, and that's what the push is towards. So it's not a petition that we have to go and speak to the government about. It is literally just one of the tick boxes we have to do. And after we've done all the tick boxes, we could put our application forward and we could get denied, and it could be one of those things where we have to prove over and over and over again. But having a member base in the UK PSF is important for so many other reasons. Even if we don't get as a sport, if we're ever put under, in danger of trying to get banned, we stand as a united front, and we can go and talk to them as a united front rather than just an individual just sort of trying to do it on his own. So
just it needs to be a paid membership as well, because they don't really accept something where it's a free membership, because you could just sign up anybody. Right. So the reason that it's paid as well, it needs to have a value on it, and that's what they also consider.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you guys, you're killing it. Amazing. Hey, even Nick Slovak wants to sign up. There you go.
I love Nick. I love Nick.
You got Nick
my
Slovak.
Hero. He's my hero.
Nice. Everybody needs more than this. Okay, cool. So listen, you guys, again, we have enough people watching the show. Just go sign up, right? £5. I don't know what that is, but just give them £5, get signed up. You're helping the big picture here. You know what I'm saying? You're basically helping to help us all. So
that's the plan. Anything that puts it more on a legitimate footing in any country has got to be seen as positive for the sport. Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
And they're signing up as we speak. I get pings through when people sign up. So I've got
people. Congratulations, Don. Didn't know who I was. Thank you very much.
They're not doing it because of you and your £5, whatever that is.
Fuck you. All right. Anyway,
it's a kind offer, mate, but even I've got standards.
Wait a minute. Don't you guys do this? What does that mean? That means that's
two tickets. 2 tickets.
Yeah, 2 tickets. 2 tickets.
Do you want to know the story about this? Do you want to know the
story? Wait a minute.
Nick Slovak has signed up. Nick Slovak has just
Hang on a second.
Wait,
Les, let me show you how international I am. This is for their archery, right? When they were doing the archery. Okay, come on. I love history. I love world event. I love everything. So yes, but you can tell us. Go ahead and tell us, because there might be people out that don't understand about the archery thing. Go ahead.
Well, it was the I don't know what battle it was, but the French had taken over. They'd sent out a bunch of troops around to the back of the English army, and they captured all the archers, which were behind the sort of infantry troops. And then they put them into the prison in the castle. And then what they would do, they would chop these 2 fingers off the archers, and then they couldn't be archers any longer. And then whatever happened that night, all the archers managed to escape. And as they were running away from the French, they were all doing this to show them that they still had
Nice. We're talking about the longbow, guys. That's why they were able to like this. All right, cool. So you guys listen. We got a hello from Iran. We got a hello from Australia. We got a hello from Canada. Canada says that they need to follow suit about what you guys are doing. I think the rest of the world needs to follow suit exactly what you guys are doing. This is fantastic. And you guys, again, I've played all over the place. You guys know that. But the time that I spent with Paul, basically, I've known him for like 5 years. And we had like these amazing dinners together. He's told me how cool this UK paintball situation is. And then when we just did these 2 past shows, I could see it, that these guys are just like, there's no like, we're only MagFed and we're only Pump and we're only Speedball. You guys are all just one big thing, and they're just getting together and having an amazing time. And so listen, my hat's off to you guys. You guys are fantastic.
The big games have got to take some credit for that, because if you go to any of the bigger games in the UK, they try and integrate all forms of the sport. Paintfest as was they would have MagFed elements, they would have the CPS there with a field, so the idea is that you can show different aspects of the sport. If you've only played in the woods, playing behind a super bunker just does not make sense. If you've only played behind a super bunker, why would you go behind a tree? So giving people the opportunity to try just demonstrates that really it doesn't matter. It's just all paintball, different forms. If you look at the people on the screen, they've been pulling triggers for years. So
Right.
we've seen it evolve. But I'm looking at some of the comments, and there's people going, they weren't even alive when it came to the UK. And when it came to the UK, you had to be 16 to play. The age has now dropped, but they weren't even alive. So if they've only ever played Super Air, they won't understand. And why would they? They won't understand the buzz of being in the woods.
Right.
People. Last week I was watching, and one of the guys said, "Oh, it's great that paintball is going in the woods." And we're like, "Going, it's not going,
exactly.
It's not evolving into the woods. It's doing full circle back to its roots."
That's what Gassy said. We came out of the ocean. We came out of we came out of the woods, kind of thing. Okay, so we talked about the UK PSF. You guys, I'm gonna put another post up for this. Hold on one second. There you go. Okay, you guys, hit that up, please. Be like Nick Slovak, and Nick Slovak is a Yank like me, and he even joined it. Right? Come on, you guys. We're trying to promote our sport. We're trying to promote this guy. Okay. Do you guys all know each other, like personally, or just? I mean, have you just met? I mean, is there? Because you guys are all industry. So have you had a chance to all get together and talk about these great things?
Absolutely. I think we all know each other. I'll let Leds go up as he's not had a go, and Paul has been very quiet. So let those guys have a go at it. But we do all know each other.
But I don't know Ainsley. I'll admit I've never met Ainsley, and I've only ever spoken to Don over the phone. Leds I've met a few times at games. Paul Banks has his shop very close to my indoor arena, so I've spoken to Paul on many occasions.
Nice.
Sometimes for hours, eh, Paul?
Yeah, he doesn't. He has Paul has the gift for gab. Yes, exactly. And especially when you apply him with some adult beverages. Yeah. Then I just start. It looks like Charlie Brown's teacher. Whack whack whack, because I don't understand his accent. So it's whack 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 whack.
Does it get a little bit thicker when he's had a few beers?
I love that guy. He's so amazing. He's like my best friend in Europe. Paul, let me ask you a question. MagFed, as far as I know, I've been playing, like I said, since 2008, just pistols only. But then in around 2013, something like that, they started getting kind of like a cohesive base. In Southern California and that kind of thing. When did it kind of come to the UK? And again, with you guys being really stringent about like something that looks like a real gun, was that like a big issue for you guys?
Well, I've actually only been playing since 2014, so everything that happened prior to that is only what I've been told. Before me, there was a company called Next Gen Paintball, and he ran for a couple of years before I took over from him. As far as I'm aware, before he started doing it, there wasn't really much of it. I think maybe for a year before that. The first MagFed player in England, I think, was Jason Basilowskis. As far as I'm aware, he's the first person I know of to actually use the MagFed marker. I think he was using one years ago. Do you know Baz, Leds? You met Baz? Jason Basilowskis? No.
Okay.
So I would imagine it actually became a thing around about the same time in the UK as it did, like you were saying, in the US. So maybe 2012. I'd have to ask Alex, to be fair.
And do you guys have tournaments for yours, or is it just group gatherings?
No, we don't have tournaments for MagFed. We just play for fun, basically.
Okay, got it. Yes. We are trying to do that out here. They're trying to get some like MagFed leagues kind of thing.
There's been talk of it over here, but I mean, it's not something I'm a big fan of the idea of, to be honest. For me, MagFed's always been just about fun. And if you start adding a competitive element to it, then sometimes unpleasantness arises. So that's not something I'm actively encouraging. I'm not against it, but I'm not working towards it either, because I don't think it's necessarily what the MagFed players want. Some do, some don't.
Okay, I got it.
We put a post out on Planet Eclipse when we started doing our MagFed. We put a post out saying, does anybody want us, does anybody interested in tournaments for MagFed? And it was weird, the responses we got. Some people were like, yeah, we love it. But the vast majority were saying, don't come into our sport and tell us that we're going to do it. And we were like, whoa, we're not trying to tell anybody that they're going to do anything. It's like, we're just asking, is it something that is out there or fancy?
I think it's just for a pastime. I mean, a lot of Magfed players, some come for the games and some come for the community, really, and just to get together and see the mates. And so I don't think there's that much.
Magfed at any pace you want, can't you? That's the difference.
Absolutely.
Right.
Whether you're young or old or fast or slow, we have a mix of players from 14-year-olds all the way up to, crikey, I don't know, 70-year-olds. But
nice.
I mean, we have.
You nearly said as old as Paul Banks there. I could see it.
I nearly did.
Listen, you guys, we listen. I've done like I said, I've been involved in the MagFed community. I've done a lot of shows about the MagFed. We're actually going to start doing a MagFed monthly show. But the thing with the MagFed community is that they kind of made themselves like a little island of this is how we are, and they had kind of like their semi restrictions about certain things all over the world because I've seen that. So sometimes when a speedball company come in, they're like, who the hell are you? Like, listen, we don't need that kind of stuff. We just need everybody to get together and have a great time, and and not like be isolated and say no. And I'm trying to do that with MagFed. I'm trying to say, you guys, listen, come on, let's be more friendly to everybody so we can grow this thing. But I understand. Listen, we got a question from Iran, and this is from Nima, and this is for Leds. Leds, this is for you. This is from Nima from Iran. Question for Leds: are you going to the upcoming Iron City Classic event in Pittsburgh?
People ask me questions at the moment about me doing things. I mean, I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to leave my own house.
Wow.
So I don't have to take flights to Pittsburgh, and I have to come home and stay in isolation for 2 weeks. So I would say no. And if somebody said to me, am I going to go to the shops this week? I'm not sure. I don't really know what's going on in my life.
Wow. You guys are okay. I got it. No worries. Okay. So Nima, salam chetore khobam mesi khodafis khubi. There we go. That's I'm just joking. That's Farsi, you guys. I'm just speaking with so he feels comfortable. Anyway, never mind. Anyway, so what else do we have? Tim Miller from Australia. We all have unpleasantries in Tim, why you always bring us down, man? Just go back down under or something. And I'm just joking. I love you, Tim. All right. UK players. We're still getting more people with UK players. When are we giving away these tickets?
And well, 5 minutes before the end of the show, we will give the tickets away.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So you guys, you got to stick around to the end of the show. Paul's doing that for the reason so nobody leaves. He has this abandonment issue. So he doesn't want people to break. I know I am. Exactly. So anyway, okay. So Paul, what else? What's give me something else that's concerning the UK industry. Is there kind of a let me ask you this. Is there kind of a is it just what you guys are showing us on your face right now that you guys have a really kumbaya thing? Is it something that maybe wasn't at first and then you guys all realized you needed to band together? How does this work?
Something that's no, it absolutely isn't. I mean, everyone you see on the screen here, I've actually worked with over quite a few years. Paul probably the least because he's been in the industry the least. And we've always had a great rapport. If there's problems, we'd ask the questions. And I think the good thing about the people you see here is we're not frightened of the word no. So if it can't be done, then we just want people to say it can't be done. And if it can be done, that these people here are the people who will make it happen. So for that, I'm entirely grateful. But I just think, like I say, there's a lot more, there's a lot more people out there that have helped drive this industry within the UK. All I've done is selected a few of those people. And all I can say to those people is, from the bottom of my heart, a big thank you, because these guys go, they never get any thank yous, but this is my opportunity to thank them all. And I'm sure there's some guys in here as well who would like to thank some of them players. And I could spend all night actually banging out names. I ain't going to do that, but at the end of the day, they know they are. They know they're out there pushing paintball and pushing the UK PSF, building great games. And big games. Aisley's True doing these tournament side, Paul doing these Magfed side. Without those great people, this industry wouldn't be what it is, and that's why it's possible to get these people together just for a chat. And do you know something? When I started paintball, go to the scenario games, and mine was mainly scenario. The best time was when on an evening you sat around the campfire, because no one went off to hotel. You sat around the campfire and you had a beer and you talked about the old war stories, and it was just like being back to where we were, And
Nice.
Some of those things are great. Don used to go to Paintfest, and at Paintfest we'd have a bigger fridge to bring his cider, and literally we would just talk shit for like 5 hours because we couldn't understand each other anyways by that time.
I like to call it technical analysis.
Sorry, yes. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to use too much of a technical term, but yeah, listen. It's more. I mean, it's my industry. It's given me a very good lifestyle. I've been running the field, as I say, for 25, 26 years. And you don't do anything that long unless you absolutely love it. Some of my closest lifelong friends have come out of the sport. The stories are great. We get together, we sit in the field, we talk, technical, and it's the same stories over and over. They get better year on year, and I'm not sure whether that's because the stories get better or our ability to remember the facts gets worse. But I mean, the three guys on the bottom, we're merely the custodians of the UK PSF right now. It was here way before us. It will be here way after us. I am not the UK PSF, neither's Les, neither's Ainsley. We're the guys that currently are doing our bit to create something that will help the sport we love grow. That's it. Simple.
Nice. I like it. Listen, everybody wants to know why you're the only one drinking, Don. You have a problem with your with the adult beverage there, or you have a?
No, I've got two. So I always carry
5 a day, isn't it, Don? 5 a day.
47 of vodka.
Oh,
the only problem I have with drinking is that I can't get enough.
Exactly, I got it. Listen, Don Rex has a question. Can you guys see in the little chat there? Can you see what Don Rex's question is?
Ben Rex.
Sorry, Ben Rex. Sorry, Ben. What's his question here?
What are you talking about there? I mean, we've told people all the time that we're open to have conversations with anybody who has got questions. But I mean, I don't know if we can answer that because I'm not sure what he's referring to. But if anybody's got questions that they want answering, if they email us info@ukpsf.com, we'll get onto it and see if we can get them a proper answer, because that's an important question. And it might be something that was before our time. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it is.
I caught Ben's earlier comment, and he was saying that he tried to contact us and we didn't respond quickly enough. And again, I'll put my cards on the table right now. Pre the lockdown, we were all busy running our businesses. The UK PSF doesn't have a back room of staff that handle emails, etc. So we haven't been as proficient as we could have done at responding. And we're not experts. We draw on information from within the industry. There has been a lot of work done with government. He's talking about replica imitation firearms, and he's talking about the Firearms Act. And I would need to go back to the predecessors from the UK PSF to draw on the information that they got at the time. It's certainly not that we're sidestepping or ducking the question. But pre-March of this year, I was also running a business. So I've had more time to dedicate to it. But as Led said, if people fire the information across, we're more accountable now. We've got more people looking at us. It puts the pressure on, but then, we rise to the challenge. That's what we're here for.
And we want to answer
that question from Ben, by the way, was wrote to Bob in 2016. So at the end of the day, like I say, if you poses the question again, we've got it there. I think the boys will have a look at it for you. But please don't hold these guys responsible for Bob not being able to answer that question in 2016.
Sometimes people ask us questions that are very awkward and sort of complicated for us, and it's not like we've just go, let's look through the file of what information we've got and we'll give you the answer. Sometimes it's like, can you go and talk to the government? I'm like, well, that's not an easy thing. I mean, they've got sort of quite a lot on their plate. When Paintball knocks on their door and says, "Hi, can we ask you this question?" A lot of the time, you just get ignored. I mean, at the moment, Don is spending a lot of his time chasing, the authorities for for paintball fields to open up again in the UK, and he's banging his head against a brick wall. I mean, there's only so many times he can phone and send emails and whatever to get an answer. So, and that's important. That's pretty important stuff. So, we're trying.
I like it. Listen. We got greetings from from Argentina. Hola.
Sergio.
Hola. Hola. Okay, so let me ask you a question. A lot of times what we do in the States here is if we want something done, we get a celebrity, not me. We get a celebrity. That's for you, Gassy. Anyway, we get a celebrity to help us to endorse it, to be the flag bearer, to say, hey, so and so is this, and they basically run with that thing. Do you guys have any, like, maybe are the Spice Girls available or something? I mean, is there something like maybe you can?
Our contemporary. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get a footballer that wants to support what we do, because they're doing great things at the moment for big questions more important about feeding hungry kids through summer. But once they've done that important work, then we'll get them to support paintball, and that looks like the government will jump through hoops if a footballer will endorse what we're trying to do. So
that's amazing. That's actually a great idea. What's that? What's Leds?
I sold an Automag back in the day to David Beckham.
I'll tell you what,
there you go.
John Terry's a very, very decent player as well.
Yeah.
So he would play, yeah. It's amazing some of the kit we saw at BZ to some of the players we're talking about. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of high profile footballers out there playing, that's for sure.
I didn't even think about that angle. That's amazing. You guys, come on, let's run with this ball. This is amazing. That's fantastic. All right, listen, I think basically all of this is going to happen next year. I mean, what I'm saying? We're going to have to get this, the big C thing out. What do you guys call it? Cunt? I'm sorry. This big C thing out of the way. And then once we do that in 2021, then we could probably really concentrate on getting footballers and stuff, involved. Because, dude, you guys, this season's pretty much over with. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's
not get out of it.
Hey, we're just starting. We're just getting going. We have winter players as well.
If we do go out in the rain here, the rain's not a problem. You just put a coat on.
I've just bought tickets for the next event, so you better not be over.
Did I just poke the bears? Look at that! I just poked the bears, and I put my finger in the beehive, like that. That's cool. All right, cool. The C-bomb. Anyway, so listen, you guys. What else, Paul? What else do we got as far as the?
I think I'd like to be fair. I've not spoken to Ainsley for quite a while, so. What's happening down at CPPS, Ainsley, and is there, what's the view on how maybe the UK PSF will sort of combine with them guys? Because with the scenario players, it was fairly simple. With yours, it is definitely more difficult. That's for sure.
Well, in terms of the membership and
yeah.
Okay, so it was always my intention to. If this season was going to go ahead, we were going to introduce an ID card system for all players in the CPPS this year. And my idea looking forward was to next year anyway, is to plug in our ID card system into the UK PSF, because I need an ID card system that will work for CPPS and give it value to players in terms of rankings and things like that. So in my head always that it was going to be a kind of a combination, between these two things, and for me to support UK PSF that way. So I was going to trial it this year, which then obviously this year's kind of at the moment it's not happening, and then introduce it next year in some sort of respect. So I think that'll still be the plan. So I'll somehow, and we're still working this out behind the scenes, but kind of inject money that way into UK PSF.
So I think
boost the numbers again. So
yeah. So I think it's important from my point of view as well that like the tournament players actually make our sport legitimate. I mean, in reality, the government didn't particularly like people charging around in camouflage uniforms in the woods and such like. So the actual tournament players, make our sport legitimate and are the sport really. If you look at the, how you can score something, winning and losing, although, it's flag capture wherever you go, I think it's more, colourful kit. It just makes it legitimate. So I think they've got a great story to play along with this to actually then, bring us, because I've always said the tournament players have actually helped save paintball in the UK because of that nice shiny colours. And the government doesn't look at it. Doesn't matter which government you go to in Europe, they look at people with camouflage kit, right. And you're a terrorist or whatever. So for me, you know, the nice shiny kit, you know, different sort of markers, it just makes it more legitimate. So I think that part is important. I think the other thing that we have to talk about and find a way is how we go about getting all of our shops on board to register players. You know, like UCARA within Airsoft, you can't actually buy a Airsoft marker without the UCARA. In general, that's supposed to be the idea. We know it happens, but it would be nice for me to be able to literally say that we're a part of UKPSF. You need to have a membership to purchase the marker. The marker would then go on hopefully a database, which again I've spoken to Don about, to hopefully try to create a database. So if anyone has the marker stolen, then this database with the stolen markers go to all of the techs, all of the shops, you know, even the likes of, the guys who all the techs who turn out, to see this list of markers that are stolen. That marker comes back, all of a sudden we found the marker. You know, the amount of paintball sites that get broken into. And you know something? It may not stop people trying to do it, but it also might plant a seed that these guys can't get rid of these markers because they're traceable. And that sometimes stops people from breaking it. If it has no value because it's going to be taken off you, then people tend not to buy them. Right. So that's the sort of thing I'd like to see going forward. But I think that's going to be a difficult thing to do. But I'm not saying that it's not possible. That's for sure.
Paul, it's trying to implement anything that impacts retrospectively. That's always going to be hard. As we found with trying to have a situation where, you know, the big game organisers and the CPPS are saying, look, you have to be a UKPSF member to be able to participate. People don't like rules being forced upon them, but long term, moving forward, again, if it demonstrates that we are doing due diligence, we've got something in place that enables us to be able to identify who's got markers, where these markers are. If these are used in the inappropriate way, in any way, shape or form, the fact that we can show that we're having some form of self-regulation has got to be beneficial moving forward. Forget the fact that if you're insured and you can demonstrate it was registered, and it may well come back to you at some point if it is tried to be sold on the open market or sent for repair. The benefits are massive. You are going to get a lot of people that do not want to be told what to do. That's just human nature. But, you know, we're told what to do in every way, shape or form. You go on a new website, you've got to accept the cookie, and that's them tracking you, knowing where you've been, knowing what you've done. And that's just on their website, you know, but it's always going to be a slow thing. People think the UKPSF is trying to control the sport. We're not. We're trying to protect the sport. We're trying to grow the sport. It's something that we all choose to do in our own spare time. And I mean, play, not the running of the UKPSF. When we've got some spare time, we go and play. You know, nice. It's how we got into it. You know, so
nice.
Dave, can I just ask you to draw two people out from the UK people we've had?
We can. Do you think that we have enough people that, or do you want to hit it up again, you guys, really quickly? We're picking out. And we do. Wait, are we again? Did we decide European player, UK player, or just UK?
UK players. So
UK players.
If the Europeans have been clever enough, they'll put a UK player on there anyways.
Okay, cool. I'm going to spin the wheel over here. I'm going to close my eyes. Let me see what I got, and we're going to stop at.
This is Paul Strutt's ticket.
Hang on a second here. Wait. I just found somebody. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Did this guy win already? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to put you guys, I'm putting the name up at the bottom. So, ready?
Alistair. Okay. Yep.
All right. So, Alistair Albert Hayes.
Yeah, that's a Magfed game for Alistair.
Nice. Wait.
Yeah.
Hang on a second, though. Wait,
Paul.
Paul.
Going to get to convert you, Alistair.
Hang on a second. Does he even play Magfed? Wait,
he doesn't. So it'll be a new thing for him, which is good. He actually does play with a single shotgun, so he doesn't. He's certainly not a. Yeah, he has a pump. So he plays pump.
He'll be good.
So,
he'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah. So he'll be good.
So Alistair, do me a favor and contact Paul Banks, and he'll have your tickets for you, or he'll tell you how to get your tickets.
Yeah.
Which will be a certificate.
Second ticket will be for Badlands.
Are we doing that now? Let's see. Let me just spin the wheel here.
As well.
Okay, ready? I think
Yeah.
this is a girl. Ready? Let's hit it.
Okay. Again,
All
if she
right.
contacts me, I'll organise some tickets for
Man,
Badland. I just want to point out,
congratulations.
you have another show coming up, and on that show we have some tickets for Speed and a couple of other games. So
Yep.
keep watching, and hopefully, like you say, we'll give these tickets away. Well deserved. And thanks to Paul and all the other guys who've been throwing these
Gassy,
tickets up for us.
don't forget to mention the celebrity Gassy.
Gassy, listen, mate, we
Yeah.
have to get him on. Gassy,
We're gonna
I've
get him
missed
on.
him.
We're gonna
I've
get
missed
him on
him
one
this
second.
evening.
Let's get him on 1 second. Hey, Paul Strutt, do you mind hanging out in the green room for 1 second?
Don't mind at all.
1 second, mate. Hold on 1 second. Let me just get you here, and let's do this. And oh yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
I've never been the fluffer in the green room again.
Exactly. Oh, listen, Paul forgot to tell you we only have a certain amount of spaces here.
I'm still here,
So,
by the way. Mr. Bean Ainsley
right.
got rid of.
No, Ansley's
got
great.
rid of Ansley.
No, he's a great guy. Ansley's a great
Where's
guy.
Ansley gone?
Listen, Gassy, tell everybody who you are.
I'm Craig Gassy Patterson. Spent a lot of times as a moderator on the forums when they were a thing, and I now run the UK Paintball Facebook group. And I know all the gentlemen here. And when the UK PSF moved on from Steve Bull, I sat on it with Don and Leds as a player rep. So I've had that cap as well, and I do not envy what those guys do. It's a thankless task for not a lot of reward, other than the feeling you're doing the right thing for the sport.
Cool. Okay, fantastic, you guys. And speaking of that, here we go again, you guys. This is the ukpsf.com. Go there. Be like Nick Slovak and sign up. Even though he's in the States and he's a Yank, he's still doing
And
it.
Junior Brown from Excessive has just signed up as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
You guys see that? You guys? Okay, so what are we at? Are we at like 1,300 now? Is that what we needed? No.
Very, very close. Yeah, we've had about
Exactly. All right. Sounds
to give you a
good.
quick snapshot. We've had 5 or 6, no, 7 or 8 join up since we started.
Okay.
So.
All right, you guys. I think we'll do this. We'll do like a marathon. We'll stay on for 24 hours, and we'll see how long we can make this happen.
John, mention the junk folder.
The junk folder. Okay, I won't mention the junk folder. I don't know what that sounds like. An inside baseball.
Dave, he was talking to me. Basically, what one of the problems that we've found with the surge in people joining us, players have had 1 or 2 issues with the sign-up process. We're aware of it. I spent a couple of hours with the web guys yesterday, but because it's a paid membership, part of it is new members have to validate their identity. So you put your email address in, it sends you a validation email. You then have to respond to that, and that then enables you to go into your membership and update any specific details that you want to. For some people, fly straight into their inbox, no problem at all. For other people, it disappears into their junk folder for some reason. So we are actually enhancing the message that pops up on screen that says, "Thanks for joining. This is the next steps." If you go and check your inbox, if it's not there, check your junk folder. Or spam folder. Yeah, that is something that we're aware of. There are 2 or 3 real big issues that we weren't aware of because the membership number was so low, and thankfully most people have been dropping us messages, and we have been trying to respond to those as best we can. And every week we're trying to do an update to give people a new number tally, and just to remind them that if they've signed up, let us know. And the only other thing I'd like to add on that, Gassi, is that we are now aware that there's what we call a legacy member issue. When we moved to the new website, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I am a member, or I was a member, and I'm trying to sign up, but it says my details are already held on the system." And that's the legacy member information that was dragged over. So we weren't obviously able to take over any financials, so that they couldn't auto-renew membership, but their details are on the system. So we're developing a patch for the legacy member. So anybody that was historically a member that can't rejoin because the system's telling them that their data is already in the system, there will be a renew your membership link. I've been given 2 weeks by the web guys, so that should be with us about 2027. Because these things just take forever. But yeah, but again, seriously, if I know people get frustrated because we don't respond, minute to minute. But if people have got or are having problems, both myself and Leds, we do try and respond as quickly as we can. So just keep shouting at us. We will respond.
All right. So Paul, Mr. Strut, any ETA on indoor site reopening?
Well, we're hoping for some time in July, but we just don't know, do we? Until the government tells us some solid information, it's all just guesswork based on their plan.
Okay.
So,
I even heard about the Euro big game. I was supposed to be there in May, and then they pushed it up to October, and now it looks like Germany won't be open until like the end of October. This is just screwing up everybody. But you got basically our hands are tied.
Players that are playing now.
Yeah, Germany's open now. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I think it's for big games, Led. So mass gatherings. I think small sites can open.
To gather more than 100 people at the moment.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Euro big games like 2,500.
Yeah, we're gonna. That's my only fear for our big games. At the end of this year is we're getting the site's possibly going to open on the 5th of July or 4th or 5th of July, but then that doesn't include mass gatherings still. So once you get over sort of 100 people, then you're talking about mass gatherings, and most of our big games are sort of 600, 700, 800 players. I still have a fear that those may not happen till next year, which again is going to devastate what we've done so far this year. But yeah,
right.
fingers crossed. Fingers
crossed. I got it. Paul, I'm going to put you down for 1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to bring up Ansley. There we go. Ansley, let me ask you a question. So with the CPPS, are you guys like planning for like maybe like the what we just said, like the end of September, maybe October? Like, are you going to be like one big game?
So what we put out now is that from the middle of August, we're going to do basically a division a day on a weekend. So because we have 8 divisions in total. So normally on an event weekend, we have some divisions, the lower divisions run on Saturday and the higher divisions run on Sunday. And overall over the weekend, there's like 1,000 people descend on our sort of venue. So instead of doing it that way to be safe, we've kind of split it so that on Saturdays, there'll be one division. On the Sunday of one day in the month, there'll be another division, and that'll just keep on rolling for 3 months. So we can get 3 events in spread out over the 3 months from August to sort of the end of October.
Nice. Very, very cool. I like it. And so again, I'm not the C guy. So basically, but you guys do have this 14-day quarantine if somebody comes in or leaves, or what's the story?
At this moment in time, it's 14 days if you enter the country. That's the bridge. And if we leave the UK and then come back to the UK, we still have a 14-day. They're trying over the next couple of weeks, I believe they're trying to do a deal with countries that have less infection or coming out of that. So hopefully that will drop down. I'm hoping by sort of August that should be gone. That's
okay,
what
cool.
the hope is.
I think so, you guys. I think just across the board, we're tired of this, and that's why I don't talk about it on my show. Just like, but yeah, I think that again, with you guys being this like united front kind of thing, I think it's important for other people if they're going to come play at Mayhem or North versus South, which is I think North versus South is next month.
Yeah, the end of next month.
Right. So they got to know that.
It's tired of it, but it's if we save a life because we don't open, it's important, isn't it? And we can't be too reckless, and it's. Well, I mean, it affects all of our lives and businesses. I want to go play paintball. I sell paintball equipment. Don runs a paintball site. Ainsley, blah 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 blah. So, and we want to do that, but it's saving lives. So it's important that sometimes we have to sort of bite our lips, shut up, and just and then sort of soldier on. Really.
Right, I agree.
I have to say, for the most part, in the UK, the industry has presented itself very professionally.
Nice.
It wasn't the news that we wanted, but almost to a T. Not quite everybody, but almost to a T. They've all said, "Listen, we're going to get behind it." I speak to a lot of fields, They're asking me for updates on where the UK PSF stands. I'm keeping them updated as best we can. And it's not the news they want to hear, but they go, well, that's good enough for me. If we're all doing it, we are one sport. We are a unified force. And as Leds has said, not to put too fine a point on it, it's a very tactile industry. We rely on numbers. It's a human gathering. It's the interaction of the competitive sport, and it's based on numbers. There's no way, based on the current concerns and the current pandemic, that we could do it wholeheartedly, ignoring the potential impact on our customers, our staff, and then ultimately the sport that we love. So I'm very proud of the way the paintball industry in the UK has stood together, and we get it.
Really cool. That's amazing to hear. Listen, Leds, got a question here. Well, not that question. This question. Here's your question. When is the Planet Eclipse online shop opening?
I believe Monday.
Wow, exclusive news, breaking news. I like this. I like it. Very, very cool. Okay, Gassy, can I put you back down in the green room so I can ask some MagFit questions?
Yes,
Back
brother.
to Fluffy.
Love you too. Hold on. All right, let me just do that. There we go, Paul. All right, Paul, listen. So, Paul, again, let me ask you again this question here. I know in Australia, there's like, I don't know if you guys watch the Australian show, but basically you have to get a license before you can get a mag-fed gun, or basically a paintball gun. And then you have to, like, it's basically like a firearm kind of thing because of the way that it looks. Do you guys rent guns? I mean, if like we have the player that's coming to one of the MagFit events, is there enough guns out there? Do you actually have like a supply that people can use?
Yeah, I have rentals. I have access to quite a lot of TMCs if I need them. I can always borrow them from my indoor site because we use TMCs there, and we have 200 mags for them. So plenty of TMCs. So TMCs are always an option. I have some T15s. I have a couple of MG100s. But yeah.
Nice.
Basically.
Okay, cool. So basically, again, you guys are open to people come to play MagFed, to try MagFed, and basically,
absolutely.
yeah,
for most of my games that I run, not all, because some sites are just too expensive and it prohibits the option. But I generally do at least 10 bring a buddy tickets. That's where an experienced player who's a MagFeder or whatever can bring somebody who's never played before for free. You're right,
nice.
Paul. Paul looks uncomfortable.
No,
I'm just reading one of the questions that's just come.
Oh,
I
thought Paul.
Sorry, Matt.
The hemorrhoids were acting up again, Paul.
I said something to receptive. No, like I said, they bring a buddy ticket. So one experienced player can bring somebody who's never played before, and they get free rental equipment with that, and it costs the price of one ticket. So essentially, me as an experienced player can bring somebody who's interested but never played, and all that person has to do is buy paint, basically.
Dude, congratulations on that. Good job.
I have to limit to 10 tickets, generally speaking, because I only have a limited amount of rental equipment, and some of the times I have to pay for them to be there. So it's it's tricky.
We did this on the site. So Paul asked us to do this. Paul asked us to do this ourselves, and we did it on the site in support of what Paul was trying to do as well, to try to grow the paintball. And you know something, it's probably one of my biggest qualms with the older community about giving a ticket away. This sort of thing, once a year, do this one, and it wasn't very well backed. But I've got to say, we did it, and we had a good response, and we grew our membership by doing it. So it is a good way of getting people who've never played into paintball. So, you have to bring someone along who's never played.
Because in order to get somebody to get the bug, they've got to try it. And all right, fair enough. I give them the ticket for free and the rental equipment for free. They're still buying a bag of paint, which I make practically nothing on anyway. But the theory being is that if that person comes along and enjoys it, then they will come back. And the majority of the time they do. I'd say at least 80% of the buddies return for later games.
It's about the long game.
Worth doing. It costs you nothing, because that is somebody who wasn't going to be coming anyway. Give it a try.
No, I agree. Listen, it's fantastic. Les, we got another. Les, you seem to be Mr. Popular here. Hang on a second. Ask Les when the LV2 is being released. It's his favorite question.
Is
That's from the green room, that question.
It's just yeah, it's not.
Okay. All right.
End of question.
Question. We got a question for Don. Don, is it possible to track how active players of the USCA are, e.g. data is logged every time they go to a rental site or event to show the government the activity levels? Don.
So currently that isn't there, but that's primarily because there wasn't a requirement for people to be a member to play a venue. So in terms of data capture, knowing who was there, but if the rollout continues as is and all of the big games require a player to be a membership, then we will be able to track who's where. I'm not quite sure where we would stand on data protection and data share. And at this moment in time, because the membership cost is really just a token gesture. I know some people are going to say £5 isn't a token, but it had to be a figure. But people are going, one of the biggest questions we get is, what do I get for my £5? And I just say a nice warm glow feeling that you're doing something good. Because if people want a patch, if people want a pen, if people want an ID card, all of these things have a cost associated with them. And it can be disproportionate to the cost of becoming a member. So that's the problem. At the moment, you literally just know that you're doing something to support your sport. And that's as much as. But as the membership grows, it is going to generate some revenue. So the three of us that work on the committee are already aware that this revenue needs to be focused on enhancing the player relationship. So we know that. So it might well be that we can then move down the route of having a card with a QR code on it that people scan, and that speeds up the whole registration. Because I know that Ainsley, when he was looking at the card and membership, you know, these big game organisers have only got they've only got a small amount of time to get people through the registration process. We're not looking to make their job even harder. So anything that can speed it up. But right now, there isn't anything to track anything because there was no requirement. But again, thanks to Paul's.
Thousands to develop that as well, wasn't it? Absolutely thousands. To develop that system is a lot of money, and we haven't got that money to do. And it's not. It's all of these things are great. We want to hear all these things. And if there's developers out there that can write us an app that does X, Y, and Z, and we're going to give them a free membership for 5 years, then hit us up. Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's actually a great idea, you guys. Come on. We've got so many people watching the show. Volunteer, help out. If you guys are coders, jump in there and see if you can help these guys out. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I think that's amazing. No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
I've read the comments and people are mentioning, they used to have ID cards, this sort of, whatever an ID card with a photograph on it or whatever. Well, that's old school now. I mean, nobody wants to take that anymore. It needs to be a digital one that you stick into your wallet on your phone, a digital version. And, that's the sort of thing that we'll work towards if the membership base is there. But 2 weeks ago, we were trying to talk about, 50 people, 100 people. We're not going to start developing, wallet ID systems for 100 people. It's pointless.
Les, we spoke about that in the week, and I've already put that to the web guys about the membership, including then almost like a boarding pass style that can be loaded into a wallet. So they are looking at that.
Nice, I got it. That's cool.
That's my point. Pay them, So we have.
Oh yeah, there's a cost. Yeah.
The quote, and they go, okay, we'll do that for 600 quid, and we just go, okay, well that's 120, members that we have, going to pay for that now. So that it's difficult, isn't it?
So listen, somebody's calling Ansley out. Ansley, somebody's calling you out and saying you're good at apps.
Terrible.
So, all right. Anyway, okay.
Didn't you doing apps?
Hang on a second. What is this one? Players should also encourage their home venue site to become a registered venue with. Yeah, it all helps you grow. Okay,
that's Kerry from one of the biggest sites in the centre of the country. So
nice, good job, Kerry. All right, cool. Okay, if I were to go around and ask you guys, like off the top of your heads, would you be able? I know you call them sites, but would you be able to tell me, like, without even overlapping each other, you guys know the different sites or different? Like, let's go with Paul. Paul, just throw out a couple sites that you know that we can give a shout out to.
District 23, Battlezone Paintball, NPF, Skirmishes, Skirmish Network, Donna Jungle. There's a bunch.
Don?
Don, Jungle, Nottingham.
Yeah, so again, I would say John Evans over at Outpost. He's got a great field. Does the big Badlands? Does the Badlands game?
Borderlands.
There's it was Skirmish Bristol there now, the Bristol Activity Centre. There again, has spent a lot of time working with the UK PSF. There's the Mayhem guys. So there's Ronnie and there's the Mayhem East, the Davies down around London. And then further south than that, you've got the Skirmish guys down in Bournemouth. So yeah, Skirmish was a franchise, probably still is a franchise to a degree, but they operate under a single a brand, an industry name that's recognised up and down the country. So yeah.
How about you, Leds?
I mean, anywhere that runs paintball games that I go and play at, I love.
No, you can't do that. Come on. These guys are like bleeding their hearts out, and you're going, anybody that has a paintball game.
The best site
is
NPF.
What's that?
The best site I've ever been to is NPF. I think that what they do, I've said this on a load of podcasts, is that there's a lot of paintball sites out there that are really lacking behind, and this is around the world. We've got to enhance the experience that the players have. And when I go down to NPF, every time I've been down there, because I've played tournaments there and their walk-ons and Paint Fest and those sort of things, they always push the bar higher and higher and higher. And I'm so impressed with what they do. And
nice.
It was my 50th birthday very recently. And I was taking all of my friends and family to play paintball because a lot of them have never played. And I chose NPF as the venue that I wanted to go and play at. So.
Nice. Very cool. I like it. Ansley, people are making jokes about your name, saying it's not very English. What the hell? And I'm just joking.
Depends how you pronounce it, really.
It's a girl's name.
It's a girl's name. All right. Listen, Ansley, what do you got? Any feels that stand out?
Yeah, Jamie Paget at Utoxeter. That's where I started playing. Jed at MPF. Bricket Wood, who do some sub-air stuff. The guys at Skirmish Nottingham as well do a great job, and Chris at Retford. And and Delta Force, go.
I like it. Paul Stroh, what do we got?
You've got Combat Paintball in Thetford, Red Alert Paintball, I think they're in Reading. Splatoon in Essex. Is it Essex? Yeah. You've got Bartry Paintball Fields.
Carl, great site. Yeah.
Combat Zone. It's another good one.
Yeah. I've heard of Combat Zone. Yeah.
Great sites.
BZ, anything with BZ involved, right? Exactly. Thank you very much. All right.
Combat Zone, you fucker.
No follow.
Anyway, listen, you guys. How did we do? Do you think we covered a lot of bases? I mean, you guys talked about a lot of topics, which is fantastic. But did we leave anything out, Paul?
I don't think we did. I just want to thank the guys for coming on to give up their evening to entertain our folks, which is always nice. Spread the word, which is always great. So thanks to Don, thanks to Leds, thanks to Ainsley, thanks to Paul. Hopefully I'll see you on the field soon.
Don't forget Gassy, the couch warmer in the green room.
Forget Gassy.
We're not going to forget. We're not going to. Who's this guy? This guy looks like I think this guy's a troll. He keeps on trolling me. This guy must be a hater. Who's it? Oh, Ronnie. That's it. Yeah.
He's a hater.
Ronnie.
He's a hater.
Yeah. He's one of my haters. I love you, Ronnie. See you soon, Ronnie. Okay, listen. All right, you guys, listen. So let's just go around the board one more time and give a shout out to your company, what you guys are doing, and where we can find you. Paul, where do we find you? Who are you?
BZ Paintball, Technical Services, and Battlezone Paintball Fields.
And where do we find you online?
All in the northeast.
No, online, Paul.
Online,
Grandpa,
right?
Listen, Grandpa, get with the program, Grandpa.
Info at bzpaintballsupplies.co.uk.
Got it. Don, where do we find you?
So my field is in Sherwood Forest, so it's adrenalinejungle.com. Multi-activity, paintball, airsoft, and laser are key parts of what we offer, but we do about 20 different products to the recreational market. And then ukpsf.com. That's my banner for tonight. So ukpsf.com, and yeah, get involved.
I like it. Les, where do we find you? Give us a shout out about Planet Eclipse, all that.
PlanetEclipse.com. I'm part of the UKPSF. Then paintball teams all over. Sandbaggers, my team. Do a bit with the Team GB. So it's I have many different hats. So it depends which one you want, but yeah, hit me up whenever you see me. I'm always around.
Bowler. I'm into the bowler hat. You're right. That's what the hat side like. Never mind. Anyway, so Ansley.
CPDF, find us on Facebook and Instagram, and yeah, there you go.
Oh, listen, I'm sorry. It doesn't cost any. It doesn't cost any more to actually add more words. I'm like, never mind. Exactly. I'm just fucking with you. All right, Paul, what's up, Brandon?
Oh, yeah. Well, OMG events, obviously only Magford Games. You can find his website on onlymagfordgames.com. Got District 23 Paintball Arena, which I'm also involved in. Battle Gear UK, we sell Magfed paintball equipment. That's battlegearuk.com. And have I missed anything? No?
Strike Force, man. Strike Force.
Oh, hang on.
Wait, Paul's coaching you.
Oh,
wait, Paul's coaching.
I'm not sure how long.
There we go. Yay!
Sorry, man.
Okay.
No point shouting that out.
There you go. Now Paul can sleep at night. Yeah, good job. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. Okay, you guys, listen. It was amazing having you guys on. And I think that we again proved to the rest of the world this amazing unity that the UK Paintball Federation, this whole thing has in common. You guys are just amazing at what you do. I was really, really impressed by all the stuff that I heard tonight. You guys just killed it. So thank you very much again, you guys, for coming on. You guys just killed it. Here's what we're going to do. You guys don't hang up. Just hang out there. We're going to talk in the green room for a bit. I'm going to end the show and say goodbye to everybody. And then that's it. So if you guys had a great time, I'm pleased as punched, as we say here in the States. And I'm really, you guys just did an amazing job. Don't hang up.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for having
You're
us
welcome,
on.
brother. Listen, you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't hang up. Hang out in the green room 1 second. I'll see you in a second. Okay, hold on. Let me just do this and that and that and that. And Paul, you killed it, brother.
And you,
I'll see you in a minute. I'll see you in a minute. And you guys, that was it. That was our UK industry show. Fantastic. I'm gonna jump over here to like our saying goodbye part and check this out, huh? Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will, right? That's the biggest thing about this taking the leap. Everybody's always afraid, like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? My bills, my wife, my kids. I'm going to break my arm. And what happens? You get stuck. You never get out of that warm jacuzzi. You got to get out of the warm jacuzzi and go forward. Again, your fear of something is holding you back. Don't do it. Whatever you think about doing, do it right now. Just jump in and have a great time. All right, you guys. Listen. Again, thank you very much for all the support and all the help on the show. You guys have any ideas for the show? If you guys want to be on the show, if you guys whatever, just let me know. And this thing's about you. So until that time, I guess I'll shoot you soon. Bye. Wait. There. That's it.